Okay, just a heads up, there's 3 rune pages. Full lethality is for mainly tanky teams. The second one, which has 80 quints, is primarily for like just all around damage. Well, it works no matter what. And the third one is more or less the more squishier side basically. Like if there's no tank at all, like if you're sort of a fighter, you can go away. It doesn't really matter. And other than that, the rune page, the mastery page is generally all I use, unless like the only thing I always swap around is like if I'm using Battle Chance or if I'm using Bounty Hunter. I don't really use double sword too much just because of the fact that it makes me a bit more vulnerable outside of lane. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into it and give a few things that I do. So because I've been requested this quite a bit, and it's one of those things. So more or less all the builds that I have are builds that I've actually either tried or I just kind of messed around with and not in an actual game. Like the full health build is kind of iffy. I haven't necessarily tried it, and I don't think in an actual game, so I don't really know if it would actually be like the best thing to build or not. I think it might be, some of the items might be okay, like Training Force is okay, Frozen Mouth kind of okay, Titanic Hydra, if you proc the active and Q, it does a little bit of damage, more than I expected honestly, so that's not that bad. But, actually no, I have put Titanic Hydra before, and it was weird because I was jungle, and it didn't really help me survive as much as I thought it would, but, so a few tricks that I've picked up over the time of playing Talon is, more or less, flash queuing is something I prefer to do. I like to do quite a bit because, generally speaking, the queue will follow. Whereas if you flash break, if you're not lucky, it won't work. It doesn't really work out more. It works out. You're less likely to make it work. If they have a dodge or something like that, it's not that great. If they have an escape, then it's not that great. But if you flash Q and then they flash, it still follows them, so it still hit them. Also, flash ulting is not a bad idea sometimes. Like if they're like, let's say about half health or something, you can flash ult because the ult will block all of your passive marks, and then you can just auto, and you could probably follow up with a Q if they're not dead yet. But generally speaking, if you're ahead, they'll die right then and there. Also, what is it? Adaptive Helm. Yeah, Adaptive Helm is actually like a really good item against Swing. And against Syndra and Brand, I'd say get health early. So like if you get like Edge of Night and Black Cleaver, or you get Maul and Black Cleaver, it's a really good early start against them because those are really the only 3 mages you really have trouble with. Against Assassins, if you do get an early lead around level 2 or 3, you want to start going defensive early instead of going for straight damage, because if you just go for instead of just going for something defensive, you go for straight damage, you can only lead that one way. Especially against Katarina and Akali, who build Protect Revolver first, because that increases auto type damage. You're better off just getting something defensive early. And for your E, this is the biggest pet peeve of mine sometimes. Like early game, I don't really like it. Use it to catch people. Like, I mean, I do mid game. Because mid game it doesn't really matter as much. But early game, I generally try to save it for like escaping out of gank, than just using it to get into the gank. Unless like is at a key spot where I can just hop back over a wall. There's one right next to it, especially for tower diving. But yeah, like I prefer to keep it as an escape rather than a get in, because you can't get back out the same way you came in. You have to figure out another way out. And rule of thumb, I guess, for me anyway. See which side your jungler is going to gank first, right? And use your resources to help out the other side of the map that your jungler is not on. So that way you have more pressure on the easier side of the map. That way you have more pressure in general. And late game, mid to late game at least, just sit in the side lane. Like find out where the AME carry is, ward up, just keep killing them over and over again. Eventually they're just gonna forfeit, they're just gonna like AFK and rage all day. And I know it can seem like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have said this before, right? So I mean, it's not that it's that big of a deal. You could probably figure out stuff on your own, but I figured I'm able to say something about it because yeah. Also, Last Whisper is generally a good idea of Talon. Like, you may think it might be weird, but the flat armor pen plus lethality just makes it where they basically have no armor at all. You can actually one-shot a full tank Garen with it if you have full damage for guards and full lethality. He just gets shredded and it's stupid. I've done it and it's great. But yeah, that's generally the idea here. If you have any other questions, feel free to PM, comment, text them. What am I saying? PM me or anything like that. Let me know what you want more of, so I know. So yeah, that's about it. I will see you guys in the next video because I'm gonna come back and try and do that a bit more often. So yeah, later.
Watch me rain.